playing a show a couple of nights ago, and there was a really, really nice crowd. And they sat right there, and then I started to sing, and the one guy just like got up. And he was like, oh, that's not gonna happen. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm a little loud and a little wet, I guess, when I sing. So it's probably wise. Give you fair warning to, yeah. I don't know what we're gonna do about poor Gabe. Just kidding. He didn't know what he signed up for. He's in my pod. Everybody's doing the best they can, dang it.
This is the rifling through the fridge part of the show, don't we?
Is it? Rifle a trifle?
Got that Archie Bunker theme song stuck in my head now.
Those were the days.
On the way Glenn Miller play. Yeah.
It's a pretty good one.
I liked the outro, that piano piece.
No welfare state.
The little piano piece at the end of it. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
What was the other one we were doing the other night? Sanford and Son? Quincy Jones. 50 seconds. I don't believe it. Well, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you. No problem. La 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 la.
Cheer up.
It got really quiet.
Cheer up.
I'm gonna flip you for real.
Huh?
I'm gonna flip you.
Flip me?
Flip you. Flip you for real.
I don't understand. I don't want to be flipped.
No, I'm gonna flip you. Oh boy, we're gonna go live soon. The D set.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to change that song into D. I was like, oh,
that'd be
God, let me
great.
work that out.
Like, what do we do now? Is anybody out there? Are you ready to light rock? Sorry, I'm so cheesy. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. Oh, the lighter app. Oh, that's a great app. Back in my day, it was a match app. We didn't have lighter apps.
Mm-hmm.
2 phones.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You ready, Randy?
So I forgot one thing, which is to set up a mic for me.
Oh.
So,
You can use mine.
but I'll just yell and hopefully it'll come in online. We got it set up online. The streaming, it is streaming.
We're streaming online.
And
And
people that are here, there's a bathroom in the back corner.
it's a bathroom in the back corner.
It's not
It's
soundproof.
not soundproof. Okay, well. Be conscious. Come on in. Welcome. Yes, yes. Oh, no, it's
Good.
okay.
Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome. We're glad you're here.
By the door, there's an ice chest with water in it.
Ice chest by the door with water.
Need water, so we'll go ahead and kick it over to you.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
This is Gabriel Rhodes with me tonight.
Hello.
And on all of the duo shows we've been doing. And we're glad that so many of you are staying safe and trying to take care of each other. We really appreciate that. We're glad that you can join us online right now as well. I don't know which camera I'm supposed to be looking into. Probably that one. Hello. My name's Jeff Plankenhorn, and oh, it is nice to be back in Texas. Even under these strange circumstances, it is really, really nice to be home. I am a man of two countries, but we will talk about that later. Speaking of that, there's a song off my brand new EP, and well, let's just hope we don't go this far into it again. Let's just put it that way. Closed down, it feels like a ghost town. Everybody's holed up at home. Each day's the same, I play the waiting game, just talking on a telephone. If I can't be with you, this will have to do. I guess we'll be together alone. And it feels like forever since we've been together. Till I can get back home, we'll be together alone. I got 88 keys for company, and I got my old pawn shop guitar. I got my mandolin and some railroad jam, and I'm feeling like a rock and roll star. I got your photograph, I miss the way you laugh, miss the way you yell and you moan. When I get back in town, we're gonna get on down. Till then we'll be together alone. And it feels like forever since we've been together. Until I can get back home, we'll be together alone. But I'm living in the twilight, permanent midnight. Till I can get back home, we'll be together alone. dignity, a boss who ain't a jerk, someone to come home to, someone to take out, simple kind of pleasures, that's what I'm all about. Independent contractor, 18 wheels, well I got a little taste of how freedom feels. They grow everything that's green in California, yeah. Sometimes you gotta hustle to earn your pay, and I got a flat tire and a heavy load. Supposed to haul it in 3 hours ago. Want someone help the poor boy on the side of the road? He got a flat tire, little further to go. And I'm leaving Santa Rosa with a truck full of plums and some mystery boxes. I don't know where they come from, I don't ask questions, so I cannot lie about the drop-off payload. Reasons why I figure everybody needs a little relaxation if it grows in the ground. Who am I to say so? Driving to drive, making good time. I see 50 pounds of rubber hanging over my side. I got a flat tire and a heavy load. Supposed to haul it in 5 hours ago. Want someone help the poor boy on the side of the road? He's got a flat tire, little further to go. Steering axle blowout, so I threw on the J. 20 miles south of Full South Lake, I was sweating my cargo, plotting my escape when a trooper pulls up with a smile on his face. Where you from, son? What's in the trailer? Agriculture, sir, from a Golden State wholesaler. Open up the bag while we're waiting on the tow. I get a little bit hungry driving up and down this road. 20 minutes later, he throws me back my keys and says, I hope you don't mind. I grabbed a handful of these and then tips his hat and says, have a nice day. It's just another afternoon in the USA. Flat tire, a heavy load. Supposed to haul it in several hours ago. The trooper helped the poor boy on the side of the road. He got a flat tire, little further to go. Little further to go. I thought that very early in the show I would throw a curveball at Gabriel and play a song we haven't played. Ever?
I've never
Okay.
played it.
I've
It's
never heard it.
vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I did that on my Patreon page. If you guys don't know, Patreon's kind of like a subscription service for me. And basically, like artists now, what we do is we get these Patreon pages, and we don't have to worry about labels or $30,000 for your next record and then $20,000 to promote it. You just put out music every single month for the people that are like your Uber fans, and it's wonderful. It's so cool. Every month I do one original and one cover. That's just my bag. Everybody's got their own thing on Patreon, and that's how I've come up with the covered uncovered albums, covers and uncovers. You get it, and man, it's just really really awesome. And that was one. Let's see. I think I wrote that one with Scrappy Judd Newcomb. We wanted to write a song. I don't smoke anymore. I can say that because I live in Canada where it's legal most of the year. But I don't smoke. I haven't smoked in a long, long, long time, the funny stuff. But I don't have anything against it or anything, but it's really, really nice that those people aren't criminals. They're not going to jail, and we're not wasting tax money on it. Because it's like, come on, man.
Those people.
Yeah, that's the way I meant.
That's racist.
Whoever those people are. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, but you're not on camera. It's okay. Yeah, well, no, I got a lot of friends that some of my best friends are stoners. It's funny. It is kind of like the race thing, isn't it?
I was just joking.
No.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah, and there's that, too. Don't get me wrong. I hope this isn't coming off. My wife jokes sometimes, and she says, honey, your sarcasm does not come off like sarcasm, you know. But I really mean it like it's really great. Because, like, I have this one friend, and he's like, I just could never put anything down. That's why I stopped everything, you know. You put cupcakes in front of me, I'm going to eat those damn things. You know what I mean? If I start a video game, I'm not going to stop until I learn it. I'll stay up 3 days in a row. It's just my mentality about things. It's just for better or for worse. But, you know, I got a buddy, and that's what he uses medicinally. And I just, you know, I said, well, he had moved to Colorado. He'd lived in Texas his whole life. And he moves to Colorado, and I said, so what's it like up there? And he's like, oh, it's great, man. I'm just never not been a criminal. And I was like, and he doesn't do anything else. You know, he has no other reason that he would be a criminal. So that's kind of what I wrote the song about. Is like I wanted somebody to, I wanted to write like a Chuck Berry style song where the guy gets away with it in the end, and the cop is nice to him about it and doesn't really care. And so that is kind of happening these days with decriminalization. What do you call it?
Decriminalization.
Thank you. That's the other reason I have Gabe up here for the big words. Gabe's up here for the big words. Speaking of my wife is a horticulturalist and a gardener, and she has a love of nature that I never had growing up in a steel town in Ohio. It's been a really, really good influence on me, musically and otherwise. And I wrote this song. It started out as an instrumental. And I had recorded it with the band. I was like, oh, you know, my old Soul Slide album had an instrumental on it. People liked it. I was like, I'll just put this instrumental on, because I had like a studio day booked, and I only had like a song ready, and I was like, oops. So I was like, let's record this, and we did. So I'm driving home through the Texas Hill Country from the Zone, which is kind of on the border of Wimberley and Dripping Springs, back to Austin, and it's gorgeous. It's like October. It's just beautiful. And I'm listening to the rough mix of it, and I'm like, this is great. And I just get this vibe, and I'm like, I'm going to call this instrumental Heaven on Earth, you know, because I was just like, I was feeling grateful. So I get home, and I talk to my wife, and I was playing her the rough mix. She doesn't like to hear things until they're done, because she's honest. She doesn't want to tell me. And it's pretty sweet. Like, if I get a shirt and she doesn't like it, she'll go, well. That means don't ever wear that shirt, ever. So I get home, and I play the rough mix for her, and she goes, Heaven on Earth, huh? And I said, yeah. She goes, can I ask you a question? I said, sure, yeah. She goes, what are your 5 favorite things in nature? And I was like, dumbfounded. I was like, what a left field. For a guy like me, it was a very left field question. And I was like, I don't know. I like mountains. See? Same reaction. You know, she's not impressed. She was not impressed. So I thought about it a little more. I was like, you know, I was pretty old the first time I stepped foot in the ocean. So the ocean's totally humbling to me when I get to the ocean. I'm like, wow. She's like, huh. Okay. Honey, what are your 5 favorite things in nature? And I kid you not, she goes, you know that thing where you're like standing in water on pebbles and the sound that the water makes when it goes through like your feet and your toes? And I was like, what else? And I kid you not, the very second thing that she says is she goes, you know when you're standing on like a snow-covered field and it's just silent? And I was just immediately taken right there. She's not a writer. She's not a, maybe she should be. But I was just blown away. So I just started writing down all of my wife's favorite things. And then I went in the next day and I just spit them out and just sung them like a song, you know. And we had a little bird that was nesting in this, she had hung up her gardening hat and they nest in it. And so we just left it there, you know. That's how this started. So it's called Heaven on Earth. quietly on the back porch. The song is not of rebirth. She sings soft and serene to her young ones. She teaches heaven on earth. The sweet smell of harvest leaves, red foxes play for mirth, magnolia buds in the springtime air. They all can be heaven on earth. The winter field, snow is silent. The warmth of the evening summer wind, the sound of the waves through pebbles at your feet. Show us to love this world we live in. Take a walk with your love through the woodlands. You will see what this life is truly worth. There's no need to wait for untold futures, no. Today you can have heaven on earth, if only for a moment. Heaven on earth. So I've had a number of people say, "Did you give your wife a co-write on that song?" And she said, "I offered." She goes, "Oh, I'm going to get all the money anyway." Which is very out of character for her Canadian self, but true to her Canadian wit. There's a song that I do. We had to cancel a couple of these, but I got to do one when I got back this residency that I do called the Purgatory Players, which is basically a bunch of people get together on Sunday mornings and we play whatever we think is gospel music that week. And I mean it. Like, one person will play a Staple Singers tune. One person will play a Bill Monroe bluegrass tune. I'll play a Stevie Wonder tune. Somebody will play something else. And we raise money for the food bank. It's at the backstage at El Mercado on Sunday mornings, the south one on 1st Street. It's really cool because the Central Texas Food Bank is pretty awesome. They serve I think 23 counties. Here's the other thing that stinks, but I kind of got to mention it. 1 in 4 children in Central Texas, food insecurity, doesn't know necessarily where they're going to get their next meal. We got a lot of money in Texas, so that's kind of ridiculous. So something's wrong, right? So it's a good thing for us to do, and musicians get up. We play on Saturday night, and on Sunday morning we go in and we play these songs. Everybody comes together. We raise a lot of money for the food bank, and we raise a lot of awareness. It feels really good. And thanks. And it's a really feel-good kind of thing. And in the first half, all the regulars play songs. In the second half, we just get people up. So tons of people show up to play, and we just kind of, it's just a blast. One time, I always tell this because I love this so much. Somebody walked in and they go, wow, they sound great. What kind of music do they play? And the barista goes, oh, they play spiritual music for non-denominational folks. And I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. So I kind of took that as our thing. Any denomination is welcome. No denomination is welcome. Whatever.
Ethiopian?
Yes, definitely like the Ethiopian joke. That's without context.
No,
that sounds
out
pretty
of context,
bad.
It was.
What is the Jed Clampett?
No, it's Archie Bunker.
It's Archie Bunker.
He's
Oh yeah.
Arguing with George Jefferson.
And what does he say?
Jesus was Ethiopian. He said, Ethiopian, Presbyterian, Catholic.
Very Archie Bunker joke we were talking about before the show.
I forgot we were streaming.
That doesn't matter, yeah. No, they're all cool out there too. You guys, everybody's cool here. Anyway, this is one of those songs that we wrote kind of to go along with that sort of thing, and I love playing it. So every time I have a show, I get to have a little bit of Sunday morning on whatever, Friday night or whatever. Good morning, good people. I know you got troubles. You think you can outrun your fate. Don't be so sure. Take another look. Maybe it's not too late. Now listen, I was beat down. I was so tired. I was longing for the cleaner slate. I was I don't know which way to go. Could be the narrow and the straight. Baby, too late. Baby, too late. Well, you only got one life to contemplate. Maybe it's not too late. If you want to get out of your own way, lay your hand on discriminate. Free your mind from the bondage of self, and maybe it's not too late. Maybe too late. Maybe too late. Lay your burden by the river. It's such a heavy weight. Maybe it's not too late. Yeah, man. I can just sit here and listen to him vamp for a while. Sounds so good. Well, it's true sometimes that the second chance has left you stalled at the gate. This too shall pass, give it some gas. Baby, it's not too late. Now when you're thinking, it's just stinking, and it's hard to even concentrate. Baby, let go, maybe you'll know that maybe it's not too late. Baby, too late. Maybe too late. Maybe too late, too late, too late. Maybe too late. And then everybody in the whole place sings. It's like, maybe too late, maybe too late. Maybe it's not too late. I can feel you singing on the internet. Maybe too late, maybe too late. Maybe way down.
Baby, too late.
Baby, too late. Baby, it's not too late. Oh, my children, baby, too late.
Baby, it's not too late.
And that's how it goes. Usually that's more like a closer, but I'm flipping him. I'm like doing stuff, kind of messing around. I'm like, basically, for those of you who don't know, like most of my life I was a side person. It was at 2016 at the ripe age of 43, I decided to start a solo career. Thank you, I'm 48 and it's kind of kicking ass, so kind of works for me. But, after all these years of playing with other people, I am just taking it all out on Gabriel. No. We're going to just not look at the set list. Wait a second. There is no set list. Yeah,
It's all good.
No, you take it brilliantly, and I love it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know about you, but there were, like, the guys I played with would always mess with me. Like, Ray Wiley would, he would, like, move the capo to a different spot and then just play the song in another key and see how long it would take for me to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what is going on? Oh, man.
You sure he was messing with you, or just put the
Or
capo
put it in the wrong spot. It could be that. I'm pretty sure he was messing with me. Now, Joe would, like, switch on the other side so I couldn't see his guitar. So I couldn't see where his guitar chords were and see how well I would do. Joe Ely. If you don't already know, then I'm fine with name dropping, I don't really have a problem with that, because it just makes you appear. Anybody who name drops just, wants to appear one rung higher on the entertainment ladder, leaned against the wall of illusion and broken dreams. In fact, I was talking about that with Ruthie Foster the other day. She agrees with me that it's a disgusting habit. Anyway, the first song that I got on the radio, like really, really, really a lot, and I had to start saying no to these other people, was this kind of sad song called Trouble Find Me. And this song, I went to visit my mom. First of all, it's 5 minutes and 40 seconds long, so who knew that would go on the radio? I certainly didn't. And I went and visited my mom in Ohio, and she said, I want to hear the song that's on the radio. It's like, oh, Mom, it's kind of a sad song. Can I play you something else? No, I want to hear the one. It's like, okay. So I played her the song. I got done. My mom goes, Jeffrey? That was, because she can do that. She said, Jeffrey, that was beautiful. I said, thank you, Mom. She said, can I ask you a question? And I said, of course. And she goes, are you okay? And I said, yeah, Mom, I'm okay. It's actually a co-write. Whiskey all alone. Temptation got me on the run. But mama, son, don't hurt no one. Don't want no trouble, no. Trouble find me. wanna be where I've been or will be. It's when I'm down, and I'm always down. Trouble find me. I can't take it no more. Knock, knock, knocking on my door. Yeah. Nothing's on the other side. But still I'm always open wide. Oh, and I don't want no trouble. No. Don't want no trouble. Yeah, but trouble find me. Trouble find me. Trouble find me. Trouble find. Thanks. Oh yeah.
Safe.
Barely. So, many of you know I got done playing that song at a house concert in Long Island. And right when I got done, the lady sitting about where you are, Randy, goes, "I can see why your mother was worried." I was like, yeah, she gets it. Paul, if you don't mind, I'm going to take a little less vocal. I feel like I'm screaming at myself. It's my own fault for asking. Do please, this is a public service announcement for everybody. Your sound people, your sound person is your unsung hero of every show. You know? Because without a sound person, you would sound like... And almost invariably, these guys know from doing sound at many things that what will happen is the first band of many bands in a night will be 2 ukuleles and a bass. And then the next band will be a 16-piece Dead cover band. And then the next band will be metal. And there'll be some guitar player just like me on stage going, "I don't know, Paul, it worked last night." You know what I'm talking about. That's a joke just for the sound people. But it's true. And I encourage you, no matter whether you're here tonight or you're out there watching, it's not unheard of to tip a sound person. If you go, "Wow, it sounded awesome tonight," just go by and just be like, "Hey, man, this sounded great tonight." Or, "Hey, that was really, really good."
Plant your corn early, Paul.
That's your tip. He's getting a lot of use of the sitcom, a lot of mileage from our outside conversation about old sitcoms. I like it. See, something. Let's see. I've got a brand new EP. Let's do this. I don't think we got to play this the other night. So it's covered and uncovered, and I said I like to do covers. I stumbled into this particular cover by a lesser-known band called the Beatles. And, like, I never thought I would cover a Beatles tune. I mean, it's kind of daunting. It's like, what are you going to do? You ain't gonna do it different. You can do it better. No. But I always thought the lyrics to this song were kind of dire, and it's kind of a rock version that they do, and I kind of slowed it down and messed with it a little bit, and I like what we came up with, and so I ended up putting it on the record after all. And you never know with these things too, because if you're on like you're putting out records these days, like everybody complains about how, you know, a play on Spotify is like 0.0003 cents. So you don't really make any money. It's like fine, but people get to hear you all over the world. That part is super cool. People trade your music. So if you're on Spotify, I want you to follow me. But one thing that really stinks is when you put out an album, you only have one chance of a song to be a single. One song. So you put out 10 songs, you make this great record, you got one shot. And I was like, well, that's dumb. So I started putting out like a single, and then an EP. And it's great because the song that ended up getting the most play, well, it was this one and then this other song called Murder of Crows that I wrote. Both have, I don't know, 15,000 plays or something like that. So no money. There was a band called Wolfpack, and they were like a jam band, and they were so smart. Back before Spotify figured it out, they had their entire audience play their music when they went to sleep. And so they turned down the volume, and they said, just play Wolfpack when you go to sleep. And they made enough money to make an album, and they called it Sleepify. So smart. They game-stopped them. You know what I mean? But you can't do that anymore. So now, if you're on Spotify, please do share my music, share your other people's. And when you're on there and there's somebody that you like, somebody who's not big, put them on a playlist with a bunch of people that are big, because people listening don't know the difference. Well, this one's got a bunch of backing behind it, but this one doesn't. And I love it, because like, somebody will put me on a playlist, and I'll be like, okay, here's Gary Clark Jr., and here's the Alabama Shakes, and then I'm there. And then here's, you know, somebody famous, and then I'll put my friend Patrice Pike, or I'll put Betty Sue, or I'll put somebody else, and it's great. That part of it is kind of like old DJs. That part I really like about Apple Music and Spotify. Anyway, here's the Beatles tune, and I hope you dig it. Been away now, oh, I've been alone. Wait till I come back to your side. We'll forget the tears we've cried. If your heart breaks, don't wait, turn me away. And if your heart's strong, hold on, I won't delay. Wait till I come back to your side. We'll forget the tears we've cried. I feel as though you ought to know I've been good as I can be. And if you do, I'll trust in you. Know that you will wait for me. It's been a long time. Now I'm coming back home. I've been away now. Oh, how I've been alone. want to know that I've been good, good as I can be. And if you do, I trust in you. Know that you will wait for me. But if your heart breaks, don't wait, turn me away. And if your heart's strong, hold on, I won't delay. Wait till I come back to your side. We'll forget the tears we've cried. It's been a long time coming back home. I've been away now. Oh, how I've been alone.
The Beatles.
Trying to get a little airplay for those guys.
Yeah.
It may happen. I don't know. It might happen.
Put a little money in the Michael Jackson estate.
That's right. For those of you who don't know, Michael Jackson bought all the Beatles songs a long, long time ago.
Well, they were doing that. They were doing that video, Say, 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 Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. And Paul McCartney's like, you should get into publishing, buying publishing. He's like, good idea. I'll buy all of your publishing.
Oh boy, the business of music. What are you going to do? All I know is this. I get to make my living playing music. I don't really need to have a Jaguar in my driveway. Pretty cool. It's like I was talking to this guy. He's a writer for some big publications and stuff. And this buddy of mine he's a songwriter, and he got an offer to book this really, really good folk club in, I don't know if I'm telling, this is not a good story to tell. I'm already in the middle of it. I'm already into it. This is not a great story to tell. Because I don't want to take away, like, man, I love what I do, But once you get to a level that's just to a level that I never got to, it's a little, that's what we say, but I kind of don't. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I did get there, because basically the long end of the joke is that it's not much of a joke. The guy was like, he's like, Chris, how many people make their living in music in the big time? And he was like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10. How many are happy? And he was like, oh, because he didn't know any, because it's a hard thing once you get 300 people that work for you just so you can go play a show at the ACL Fest, and like that's a lot, I get to go and like play house concerts for different people. I get to actually hang out with them. I get to play clubs. I get to play rock clubs. We get to play with a big giant band. We get to play duos. I don't know. It's kind of cool.
I'm still waiting for our 2 ukulele and a bass band we were gonna form.
Sorry, ukulele.
Ukulele, yeah.
I had this album, speaking of being a little bit more gratitude, a little less attitude, which is what I try. I had this album called Sleeping Dogs. And this song got played on the radio so much that this guy in Austin and a few other places, some, great station in Colorado, one on the East Coast, places that just knew my music and were waiting for the next thing to come out. So this song, Sleeping Dogs, got a lot of play. And this buddy walked up, and he's a manager. He said, I'm so sick of hearing that song on the radio. And I was like, that's a good problem, man. I was like, I'm cool with it. It's like, this is kind of the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. And I wrote this song as like, I'm kind of a wear my heart on my sleeve kind of cat. I'm kind of, if you tell me stuff, sometimes I take it a little too personal. I know it's so surprising that an artist would be sensitive. Right? Come on. So I thought I'd write this song, and it started out as like this reggae tune that I would remember by Toots and the Maytals, and the bass line was like boom, 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 boom. This is a great old Toots song. And I was like, I want to let the sleeping dogs lie. I want to let the sleeping dogs lie. And I was like, if I just sing a bunch of verses about things that I'm really bad at, maybe after a tour or two, I will get better at all these things. I'll drive it into my thick skull. They don't call me Plank for nothing. It's not just because of my last name. And, well, it's been a few years, and not much has changed. But the coolest thing is people come up and they're like, man, I love singing that song. It makes me feel better. And that's even cooler than what I thought, you know. I always love playing this song, too, and we're going to play it now. Used to worry about everything, what you thought, what you think. Now I know I do what's right. I let the sleeping dogs lie. Every time I fall down, I once again feel the door round. Get up and leave it, and I go on trying, and let the sleeping dogs lie. So I let the sleeping dogs lie. Once you had me in your claws, never knew what was the cause, but I let go, I ceased to fight, and let the sleeping dogs lie. You say something's behind my back, well, I'm not so concerned with that. Your problem has never been mine. I let the sleeping dogs lie. I let the sleeping dogs lie. I let the sleeping dogs lie. Used to look for someone to blame. That's exactly when I lost the game. No more tears come from my eyes. I let the sleeping dogs lie. I see it clearly coming through the mist. Where to finally be done with this? The illusion of power, it fades with time. If you let the sleeping dogs lie. I 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 get the rest, yeah. She has a heart so true and kind. What I love is a beautiful mind. All them troubles we can leave behind, and let the sleeping dogs lie. Not to mention the fact that I just wanted an album cover that you look at it and you just want to pet it. So is Oscar. My wife and I have two rescues, Oscar and Alice. And Oscar's kind of like a corgi terrier, you know, so he's like a loaf of bread with little legs, you know, and kind of waddles. His middle goes like this when he moves. And so we just did a big close-up on his face. It's just all fur on the cover, and on the back it's his butt.
Oscar's a hell of a background singer too.
That's actually Alice.
Oh, that's Alice. Okay.
Alice is the singer in the family.
Okay.
And there's a song that I play a lot on live streams, and her name, the song is called "Love Is Love," and for obvious reasons. And when I play a certain instrument, Alice likes to sing along. So if you go back and you watch some of the live streams, it became such a thing that when I did the song, people would be like, Alice! Before I started. It's like never follow children or animals.
Or dogs, yeah.
Animals of any kind. It's a losing battle. We'll do this for Alice then. love is I love that Mattson from KNBT, he's a program director that actually gets to pick music that he likes. It doesn't always happen anymore. A lot of the radio stations you listen to, they get sent a playlist of, you have to play these songs, you have these songs to pick from, because the labels give them the stuff. And so it's a real shame to break the mystery of, oh, they became famous because they were good. It does still happen, but not a lot. You know, things like Black Pumas, they kind of came out of nowhere. They were so good and deserve it. It's not the norm anymore. Always watching for young bands. Have you guys heard Yola? Oh, she's so good. Check out Yola. I don't know where she came from. I don't know if she's an industry creation, but she has me fooled. She seems so incredibly real.
She's AI.
It's true, though. Like, once you're in one of those bands, you know, and I was in this band that opened up for Maroon 5 for, like, an entire tour, and I don't know, everybody's like, ooh. But they were really, really good. But they were like 5 underwear models who could play, you know, and they could really play and they could really sing. But it was the same thing. Like, nobody knew them, so they just had to shove money and money and money and re-record the album, and they're like, you will like Maroon 5, you know? And it eventually worked because they were great. This is not always the case. And I kind of like ruining it for people in some ways. But when I hear somebody like Yola that I don't know anything about her background, I'm like, man, I bet she's for real.
Tell them the ending of a movie they haven't seen yet.
Should I do that?
While you're at it.
Okay. Is it that bad?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay, good. Anyway, Love is Love. That's what I was going to play. Oh, the reason I mentioned it's because Mattson at KNBT picked this song. It wasn't really the song I expected him to pick. No other radio station picked this one as the first single. And I got to the point where I'd play it at like Devil's Backbone and like people would be singing along like shortly after the album came out. And I was like, what is going on here? And everybody's like, oh, they're playing that on KNBT. Jimmy fell hard for Jenny. Jamie fell in love with Jay. You can't choose with whom you fall. I think it's better that way. Be a chemical thing, maybe cosmic and such. Try as you might to clearly define, well, you won't come back with much. Love is love, is love. Love is love, is love. People try to change love. They give conditions and rules. They try to tell you that they know better. Well, tell you your love ain't cool. Love don't mind your religion. Love don't know about race. Love don't care where you may come from. Love doesn't need to explain, no. Love is love, it on one song on one album, and you have to bring it out every night for the rest of your life. You don't have to. That's where I'll play that thing, and Alice is like, "Oh." We are born knowing love, and we have to be taught how to hate. It's true. To let go of all your preconceived notions. Well, you only need to relate. Come take a seat at the table. Break some bread, make a new friend. In time you'll find forgiveness and kindness is all you ever needed. Love is love, is love, is love. Love is love, is love, is love. And it is. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise it is. Let's do another. Let me do one more quick cover. We're gonna just do one long set, and then that's probably it for tonight. And we're so happy to have everybody online watching. Thanks for. I do this thing called From Here to There, and I started it during the pandemic. It's been really great. It was a really, really great way to connect, and I would do shows. But now, since we're getting out and just barely starting to do stuff in various places, I'm playing shows in Canada and here. It's kind of cool that I can do the From Here to There from an awesome place like this, and you get to hear Gabriel. So everybody watching online right now, I don't know if you're, I've got people in the Netherlands, and I've got people in Canada and Hawaii and Japan that always tune in, and now they get to, see some band stuff and see some people I get to play with, and that it's pretty awesome that the technology now is like, we're utilizing it, well, for good and not evil. We're using our powers for good. And that part's really, really cool. And I get to shine a light on people like Gabriel, too. Gabe's a producer and a songwriter, and he's co-written a bunch of songs with me, like Murder Crows and Bird Out on Ninth and Further to Fall, and in his own right. And you feel like playing something tonight?
Oh, sure I will.
Cool.
Take the mask off and everything.
Gabriel Rhodes, everybody. I have no idea what he's going to do.
I'm going to do a
now
song.
He knows now I know how he feels tonight.
I'm going to do a song that we wrote together.
Okay.
And you're going to play with me.
Yes, sir.
I hope so. Now you'll be my side.
Yes, Mr. Rhodes.
I'm going to do it in F sharp. How about Where's my
that would be on brand, or change in the middle. Anything you want to do.
I'm going to do further.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me start with you right at the
I
top.
do. I'd love that. I would love it.
Yes, sir, Mr. Rhodes.
2, 3, and all is quiet. The storm is gone. Time to sift through the rubble, see what is lost and move on. Looking around, might seem we lost it all, but fools can always find a little further to fall, a little further to fall. of danger, no need for concern. Why even ask? There's no lesson to be learned. Paper guard houses, built them up so tall. Fools can't always find ways to make them fall a little further, too far. Good luck, bad luck, no luck at all. We still got a little further to fall, a little further to fall. Hard luck, bad luck, no luck at all. We still got a little further to fall, a little further to fall, a little further to fall. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
From the desk of Gabriel Rhodes and Jeff Plankenhorn.
the desk.
The desk of.
I like it. All right. Well, that'll never happen again. No, I'm just kidding. I was playing one time with the late Jimmy LaFave, and I was backing up,
Oh, Jimmy.
and I was backing up him and Sam Baker and Kevin Welch. More name drops for you.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tick,
Ting, ting, ting. And Jimmy was like, "Man, Jeff, you got a song. What's that called? Trouble Find Me?" For a guy who, I'm going to say this because we knew each other well, and I have no problem saying this. For a guy who never talked on stage, Jimmy LaFave, off stage, never shut up. It was wonderful. He was always telling jokes. He was always getting everybody's goat. He was super social, and then he got on stage, and he's just real quiet and pensive, and he's just such a beautiful person. In both instances, he's like, "Jeff, you got a song called Trouble Find Me, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Would you play it?" So I'm like behind the other guys, and they like bring a microphone over, and I sing the song. There's a big crowd out there, and I play it, and everybody claps. And then Jimmy's like, "Well, that'll never happen again." Speaking of people that I've played with, that whenever I do when I do the covered uncovered thing, there's like a cover of somebody who's like super famous, Beatles, and then somebody who's either like a contemporary of mine or a mentor. This is definitely in the mentor category, and it's a song by our friend Joe Ely. And when Joe and I would play, and I'd be in that seat, we would play this song. I really love this song. It's kind of old. I don't know what it is about Lubbock, you guys. There's just this songwriting thing there, the Buddy Hollys, the Kimmy Rhodeses, the Roy Orbisons, all of the Flatlanders, and then the guitar picking, and then the Lloyd Maines. I mean, Lubbock, it's just this crazy flat town, with parallel and perpendicular streets that are numbered and lettered.
You know what? My mom and them have a theory that it was because their moms used to make them run behind the mosquito truck and get fumigated with the DDT.
Got a little high.
So they got, you
I
know,
read that in your mom's book.
It got the creative juices flowing. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Kimmy's book. Kimmy wrote a duo memoir, which is kind of a cool thing with the late Joe Gracie. And I read it before she was on my 20 question shows, which is another thing that I do. You can find all these things on the interwebs. But I read it, and it was just, man, that's such an amazing book. I've never read a book like it. Their romance story is part of it, and their romance with music is pretty amazing, too. Because Joe lost his voice, and they were, he used to write on a little magic slate. Imagine falling in love with somebody that only communicates through a magic slate, and then marrying them, and then being with them for years.
It worked out good because, like you said about Jimmy off stage, my mom can talk too, so she did the talking for both of them.
Yeah, it kind of worked out, didn't it? Anyway, I'll go all the way, circle back around to Lubbock and Joe Ely and this song. And so when I did the cover of this for the new album, I kind of wanted to do like a Words of Love kind of arrangement, like an old Buddy Holly acoustic arrangement. I wanna slow you down. I wanna smear the moonlight in your skin, put Orion in your crown. Let it all go. I know that you're beat. That truck stop's just not good for you. You're always on your feet. I wanna slow you down, slow you down. I wanna slow you down. Take off your dress. I wanna slow you down. I wanna feel the warmth of your skin as your heart begins to pound. Let it all go. Know what you need. That lonesome coyote sounds forlorn. He's hurt, he's so free. I wanna slow you down, slow you down. Wanna slow you down. Lay a while beside me. Forget about your care. Down in your arroyo, I wanna climb your silver stairs. I wanna slow you down, slow you down. I wanna slow you down. Slow you down, slow you down. I wanna slow you down. Gabriel Rhodes right there. All right. We're going to stay up here forever if we don't start getting close to calling it. So let's see now. I'll play a few more songs for you guys. And then try and, peddle my wares. I had a young guy walk. Please, for everybody online and everyone in the audience, just know that I have the softest T-shirts you'll ever touch. It's true. It's true.
Pretty soft.
It's true. That's Manny. Manny the mannequin. He sold a lot of T-shirts for me over the years. I missed him when I was in Canada. For those of you who are not watching or who are watching online, he's a little mannequin.
He's a headless quadriplegic.
Exactly. But you know what happened was my wife and all her friends were walking around in Lucy's Fried Chicken T-shirts. And I was like, baby, what's the deal with the Lucy's Fried Chicken T-shirts? And she's like, I don't know, I could just live in this thing. And she kind of did. And so I went.
Ka-ching.
Well, no, I just went and figured out what the T-shirts were, and then I started getting all my T-shirts made the same way. And it works. I had this guy came up at a gig. He said, I forgot about this one. He said, I really want to thank you. I said, why is that? He's like, you're right. My wife loves your T-shirt. She sleeps in it every night. And I said, oh, man, that's sweet. Cool. That's really nice. And she's a fan. And he's like, yeah, and you get to sleep with us every night. I said, hey, wait a second. This is getting weird, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's what happens. You're on the road too much. I had a young guy walk up to me and say, okay, so I'm playing the Saxon Pub. It's the first time I've ever sold out the Saxon Pub with my band. And I'm on cloud 9. And I'm just like, if it never gets any bigger than this, I'll be okay. Because I can make my living playing music. I was like, this is great. Just the band sounded killer. We rocked out, so to speak. And when I do the band thing, it's hopefully it's pretty rocking.
Pretty rocking.
Thank you. I paid him to say that. But we got all done, and this young guy walks up to the stage, and he's like holding my CD, and he's like, hey, man, I loved your set. I said, cool. He's like, I bought your CD. I said, great. He's all wide-eyed and excited. I said, fantastic, man. He goes, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I bought it. It's a true story. It felt like a personal victory in that moment, but it really did happen. I thought I tuned during that story, but I was wrong.
It's the humidity.
That's right. When I left, this was a Gibson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for getting that joke, Randy. Thank you, Anne Mary Jo, very, very much. Not only for, if you guys, I wish you were here to see the venue. That's right. I wish you to see the venue. It's the coolest thing when people put together house concerts because they're great for the artists. They're great for the people that come to them. But some people kind of go the extra mile to have like really, really great sound and like a comfortable place for everybody. And I think that's what you've done here. And it's really nice.
Yeah.
And
Thank
it
you.
means a lot to us. Yeah. It's kind of a welcome break. Like I love playing a big, loud club, but I also love playing where I can get to know people a little better, and then it's pretty awesome. So if you are just watching on my page right now, it's Cantina Sound Workshop. And it's a YouTube page. If they're watching on my Facebook, they can find all sorts of other shows there. And you guys also, you and Paul also do sound a lot in Texas and have made us sound good at various venues. So thanks for getting into this as well. It's pretty awesome. Thank you. That was my public service.
There you go.
But I meant every word. Let's just see here. We're going to do... one of the singles from the album is called Murder at Crows, and Gabriel and I wrote it together. The guitar part, this little guitar riff, do you mind playing that riff for me? Okay, that riff right there. I was in the studio and I was going to cut a Patreon version of this, and Gabe wasn't around. And I was like, well, we record each other's songs all the time. Often anyway. And I was trying like hell to get that guitar part, and I couldn't. Like, I just couldn't get the groove, you know? Like, I could play the notes, but I couldn't make it sound like that. That happens a lot with guitar players. You might be able to play the notes, but you can't get the feel of another player. And so I said, would you mind sending it to me so I could learn how to play it? And he goes, sure. So he gets out his iPhone, and he plays it into his iPhone, and he sends it to me. Well, that didn't help either. So finally, I looked at the engineer, and I was like, could you just use the iPhone recording? And he goes, oh, yeah, that would work. And so he took the iPhone recording of that, and we put it in the song. And now it's even cooler when we get to play it.
It actually sounds cool like that.
Kind of sounds like old radio or something, kind of a little bit of crackle to it. But I think that guitar line kind of makes the song. Something small like that can really make a tune. All right, so here we go. Murder of Crows. Seeks oblivion. Oh, out beyond the pale, picking up nickels in a hurricane. Sun has got a soul for sale. He learns that tone is heavy. Lies run faster than the truth. On the highway, about to blow the tar right off the roof. Beauty, shallow, tell the truth till it bleeds. Black feather shadow, tell me what you see. Oh, murder of crows flies with me. Living or dying, no telling what it means. Sonny heard the crows cry, chasing down an endless stream. Path to choose. Beauty, shallow, tell the truth till it bleeds. Black feather shadow, tell me what you see. A murder of crows flies with me. On the highway, throwing caution to the wind. Sonny heard the crows cry, boy, you're gonna have to start all over again. Beauty, shallow, tell the truth till it bleeds. Flies with me. Murder of crows flies with me. A murder of crows flies with me. Well, I've been driving, I've been riding, I've been beating the pavement, Oakland to New Orleans. I've been biting, I've been hiding the nails off my fingers, trying to figure out what it means. But the road's been good to me, Lord, you know I can't complain. Yes, the road is all I know. Without it, I wouldn't be the same. But as I roll on down, flying and defying my heart, well, it stays the same. If I don't get home before the sun, girl, that'd be a crying shame. Well, it's hard and it's a pity when you get what you ask, and it wasn't what you wanted all along. You wake up and then shake up and then come to find you've been going about it all wrong. But the road's been good to me, Lord, it's been my teacher and my friend. Yes, the road is all I know. I now won't see you again, but it's a long, long way from TX to DC. I'm counting every single mile. I wanna get back to you. We're gonna do the things we do. I can't wait to see you smile. Homecoming, yeah, I'm homecoming. Whoa, I'm coming home. I'm homecoming. Come on, get it now. Oh, how I miss my sweet one waiting, still anticipating the day I'll return. When I lay down my boots right next to my roots, Lord, I'll be feeling love. Homecoming, yeah, I'm homecoming. Whoa, I'm coming home. Homecoming. But the road's been good to me. Getting on home. Yes, the road is all I know.
Anybody get hurt?
No, nobody got hurt on the end of that. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm Jeff Plankenhorn. This is Gabriel Rhodes. And we're not going to milk you for it. We're just going to do one more. Not instead of like walking off and, oh, come back, please, please, please. It just feels awkward. It does. It would feel awkward. So I mentioned that I was playing in this band that opened up for Maroon 5 a long time ago, and I was in the band that opened for these guys, and this guy was never going to get famous. He was kind of a jerk, this guy I played with. And so after a couple of months of living the rock and roll dream, and it was awesome. We played like every house of blues in the country, and Maroon 5 was on the way up, so these shows were big and fun. But the guy was just a real pain in the ass. So I quit. I was like, man, I got to go back to Texas. And I felt really defeated. I called the manager and I said, just send me my stuff. I bought a ticket. I'm going home. And did. And you know that thing when you get off the flight and they look at you and they say, thanks for flying with us or whatever? Well, the pilot was standing there and he looks at me as I'm getting off the plane. I'm kind of doing the Snoopy walk.
Eeyore.
Yeah, that's right. And he looks at me and he goes, welcome back to God's country, son. I just looked at him. I was like, oh, my God. Like my face just lit up, you know. Like you could just see it on my face, right? So I get in the car, and this buddy of mine is picking me up, and we're driving back to the hill country. and this song that I had written for wayward travelers to know that when they came home, there was a place for them. It was used on this thing called Voices of a Grateful Nation, but it was also on my first album. It was for returning vets, so a lot of vets told me they really loved this song, and became a song for them when they were overseas, and that touched me pretty hard in a good way. Yeah, we were raising money because a lot of these guys come back and they don't have mental health services. They have to wait a long time, so the money was going to that. But he was playing this song, and I was like, oh, this song that I wrote for other people was now, the words were hitting perfectly for me. And now that I'm back home in Texas, my other home, I am a man of two countries, but I married a foreigner. It's okay. It's kind of cool. I'm telling you, if I can get my wife to say a and y'all in the same sentence, I will have brought our two countries together. The countries of Vancouver Island and Texas. And they will be together. It's gonna happen. I can feel it.
It's exciting.
Because when she first moved down here, she goes, "Baby, tell me every time I say a." And I looked at her and I was like, "Oh, sweetheart, no," because she says it all the time. And she's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, you say it all." I was like, "It's okay. People down here, they love it, man. They think it's really endearing." And then I realized that when I go up there, I say stuff that's particularly Texan. Like I'll say something like, "Tell you what," and then one of her girlfriends invariably behind her will be like, "Tell you what," you know, and I'll be like, "Yeah, okay, I can turn it up a little notch while I'm here." Just get a little
Milk
bit.
it.
Anyway, this is that. We'll leave you with this, and thank you guys so much for having us. Always like to wander, born a free man. You've been on this road since you don't know when, and you may be more lost now than you've ever been, but you will find your way home. It was in your mind, well, to go around the world, make yourself a dollar, or find yourself a girl. If you come back wise with empty hands, at least you'll find your way home again. Some days the sun shines, oh, and some days it rains. You take all those moments, treasures and your pain. You can put them in your pockets, or you can throw them to the wind. But you will find your way home. Again. Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Randy. Thanks, Mary Jo. Thank all of you. Gabriel Rhodes, and see you guys online. Thanks for being with us. Bye. Aw, thank you. Thank you, guys. Last time I was there, what was it? What's the place? That's one of the ones. Eddie's is one. Smith's Old Bar's another one. Yeah. I think I'm trying to do a tour. Last tour I did with my buddy Scrappy Joe Newcomb. We went and played at Eddie's. But we'll be back. Just watch the website. Not anywhere near there yet. Not yet. Right now, pretty much Texas, pretty much Vancouver Island. That'll change. I lost my manager and my booking agent right at the beginning, not to death, to quitting the business right at the beginning of COVID. So I'm kind of just doing everything myself for a little while, which stinks. Thanks very much, Steve. Great to see you.